Okay, let's get started in just a second. Hi, I'm Rusty Humphries. We got a good show for you coming up. We'll play a little bit of Donald Trump's speech today where he's talking about tax reform. Also, not everybody wants to be saved in Houston. We'll get to that in just a second. Today's show is being sponsored by the good folks at Wax RX. Wax RX, that's right. The pH-conditioned ear wash system. It's the same ear washer that is purchased by doctors and clinics. And if you're like me and you get earwax buildup, it's awful. But I'll tell you, this stuff actually works. Really easy to get, too. Just go to waxrx.com. That's waxrx.com. Let's get her started, shall we?
Yeah, we don't want to do anything to scare your children. That's the last thing we want to do. That's a direct order.
He's been put down, ripped off, cut open. Now, he's unleashed. Unleashed. The American insurgency starts now. This is Rusty Humphries, Rebellion Radio.
Hello, my brother from another mother, my sister from another mister. Hi, my name's Rusty Humphries, and welcome. This is the Rusty Humphries Rebellion. It is powered by the great folks at Right Wing News here on Facebook. It is sponsored today by Wax RX, also our good friends at Australian Dream Arthritis Pain Relief Cream, and DerMend Mature Skin Solutions. A lot going on today. If you get a chance, would you please comment? Would you please check in? Are you a deplorable? Where are you a deplorable from? I want to know. I want to say hi. I want to make sure that you share this video. We got a lot going on. I want people to be able to see it, be able to hear the truth. There's so much garbage out there on the web, so much garbage on Facebook and Twitter. It's hard to sometimes distinguish what the truth is. And so what I do every night is come on, check out what's going on in the news, kind of recap it with you, and get your take. Okay, it's simple. Connie says, okay, so we're checking in. People are checking in. One of the things we're going to be playing in just a few minutes is Donald Trump's speech today. Gave it kind of an interesting one. Of course, people are mad at Trump. Oh, are they mad at Donald Trump? How dare his wife wear shoes that they don't like? By the way, have you seen the picture of the woman who didn't like the shoes? This woman is crazy go nuts. Great. There's a great picture here on Right Wing News. Meet the contributing Vogue fashion writer who criticized Melania Trump. Warning. What you're about to see cannot be unseen. Tuesday evening, everyone threw a collective fit over Melania Trump choosing to wear heels on her way to Texas. Journalists legitimately lost their minds. Didn't even come to their realization that, well, maybe she was smart enough to take off these shoes when she got on the plane and replace them with others. And, of course, she did. You can see a video of her coming off the plane wearing a pair of tennis shoes. But, of course, that's not what the mainstream media decided to whine about. But we'll take a look at her shoes here. Let's just get that on. There she's coming down the steps, looking lovely. President Trump waving to everybody. But let's look at the shoes. Sure, you've seen this, but, of course, we have to prove. There they are. Look at the shoes. They're white tennis shoes. They're not the big old stilettos that everybody was complaining about. Everybody whining and moaning. Moaning and a-whining. Well, so there's so one of the people that was really bitching about it was the contributing editor of Vogue, Lynn Yeager. And this is what Lynn Yeager looks like. What an attractive woman. She looks like something out of the Hunger Games. Can I zoom in on this lovely mug? Oh, man. If only I had a shot with that, huh? Oy vey. Just repulsive. And I thought, when I first saw a picture of her like that, I thought, okay, well, that's got to be like a Halloween shot or something. Nope, she's like that all the time. So who would you pick? Melania or the hag from Vogue? Ugh, I say. Ugh. By the way, I'm going to do your check-ins in just a second. By the way, give me some thumbs ups, give us some hearts, give us some shares, let people know about it, and I'll check in with you in just a second. Very interesting thing I want to remind you about. Yesterday I told you that it was my birthday, and thank you everybody I got thousands of birthday wishes, and I appreciate it very, very much. But I wanted to make sure that you got a present. So today only, if you go to Amazon and look for my book, 7 Ways to Win Political Debates Your Liberal Family and Friends and Still Keep Them as Family and Friends, today only, the ebook is free. That's right, I'm giving it away free just because you've got Labor Day coming up. I want you prepared in case you get attacked by some liberal idiot on Labor Day weekend. And I'm giving away the ebook for free. No strings. You're not going to my website. I should do it where you have to give me your email address, but I'm not doing that. I want to do something completely free. The only thing I'd ask is if you got a moment and you read it and wrote a nice review. I would really appreciate that, okay? So it's at Amazon only, and you can find it just by typing my name in. Type in, and again, the book is 7 Ways to Win Political Debates Your Liberal Family and Friends and Still Keep Them as Family and Friends. And again, absolutely free. Today only. I think it'll probably stop at midnight Eastern time, but that's up to Amazon. I can't control what they do. Eileen checking in. Kentucky in the house. Betsy, hello. Donald is from Oshkosh, Wisconsin. Martin checking in at 2 a.m. UK time. Thank you. Connie says, let President Trump do the tax cuts. Robert says, what's going on? Stephen, hey, Rusty, how you doing, brother? It's my old friend from Atlanta, I think. Glenn checking in from LAX. Going to miss the show. Almost ready to take off. Glenn, we're going to miss you. Thank you. John is a deplorable from Minnesota. Juanita, hey, Rusty. Wayne's checking in from Toledo. Mike says tax cuts now. Alan says Texas checking in. Dixie is Louisiana. Jim says reading your book as we speak. It's a good read so far. Thank you, Jim. I appreciate that. Homestead, Florida is where James is. Frederick is from Hermosa, Florida. Trey says here from Kansas. Georgia says it is time. Micah, deplorable from Colorado. Robert is from Houston. Doyle says, I support and hope he gets a second term if coupled with spending cuts. John says, that's fake news, Rusty. What's fake news? Not sure. Deplorable from Indiana. Debbie is a Texas deplorable, nowhere near the floods. Good. I'm glad to hear that, Debbie. We're still praying for everybody there and our friends in Houston. You know, we have a huge audience from Houston, and you know we are worried about you, and we hope that you're going to be doing well very, very soon. Speaking of Houston, I saw this video of a woman that is being saved in Houston. Check this out.
They just threw her a line. I just saw a line being thrown to her from that opposite side. So let's see what happens. She's got a hold of it. She's got a hold of it.
Steve, we're going to turn it over to you.
She's coming to the side, and there it is. Looks like she's been rescued. They just bumped into something.
It looks like
now. Keep an eye on the woman. Keep an eye on the woman.
Onto that boat right now as we speak.
Wow.
There you go.
They rescued her.
Oh.
Good news. Good news. Keep
with no life vest
watching
on,
her.
She's
Keep
heavy
watching her
because she's wet. I don't know how much she weighs, but she's heavy because
They
she's
just call her
wet.
fast.
And he reached right over
Keep
there
watching her,
and
though.
grabbed
Watch her.
by her shirt and pulled her on up to safety.
Watch.
Not knowing what's below that, as you said.
Taking off the rope that just saved her life. Looking around, going to go save more people.
Amazing.
Wait a minute. She just jumped back in.
She jumped back in. My photographer is saying that she just jumped back in.
Okay, she just jumped back in. This is clearly someone who does not want to be rescued.
Saying that she jumped back in.
Oh.
Yeah.
And
sometimes people just like being on the TV.
That she was distraught.
That she was so distraught.
She
may have a mental health problem because
I think that's who we're dealing with.
Mental health problem, or maybe she just wanted to be on TV. I don't know. That one was a weird one. Okay. Okay. Dave is deplorable, proud of it. He's right in the middle of Eugene, Oregon. Love Eugene, Oregon. How you doing? Let's see. Cut those taxes. Simplify them as well. We love our president. Melania can wear whatever she wants. The Vogue woman fell out of the homely tree and hit every branch twice. Thank you. Martin got the free book. Good. I'm glad. Ron's birthday was, or sister's birthday was Monday. Everybody, thank you very much. I appreciate it. All right, let's watch some of President Trump's speech today. It's a few minutes long, but you know what? Maybe you didn't get a chance to watch it. I know I didn't, and I've heard that it was a good one and it was important. So let's get to it. President Trump participating in a tax reform kickoff event. Let's check it out together here on the Rusty Humphries Rebellion.
Thank you. Thank you very much. It's so nice, and we appreciate it, and all of the people outside that were waving proudly the American flag. Believe me, we appreciate it very much. I want to thank Jerry Cook, Steve Burney, and all of the tremendous employees here at the Lauren Cook Company for hosting us today. Where is Jerry? Where is Jerry? Thank you, Jerry. What a job. I've heard so much about you. It's a great honor to know you, Jerry. Thank you. I also want to welcome the many distinguished guests who are here with us for this very important event. Secretary of the Treasury, Steve Mnuchin. Thank you, Steve. Secretary of Commerce, Wilbur Ross.
Okay, I couldn't care less about the secretaries
Small
over there.
business.
Yeah, fast forward. Here we go.
Blaine Lutkamai.
Yeah. They're all there.
Absolutely heroic work.
Okay.
Devastating hurricane.
Yeah.
And, I don't know. We have so many more. Anybody I forgot?
You don't need to hear
Right?
them all. Let's just move on.
Everything okay?
Yeah, everything's great.
Good, I got it. You I remember more than anybody.
Okay.
Thank you all very much. I appreciate it. And to the congressmen, congresswomen, we very much appreciate you all being here. Thank you very much. Before we begin, I'd like to take a few moments to discuss the deeply tragic situation in Texas and Louisiana. As we all know, our Gulf Coast was hit over the weekend with a devastating hurricane of historic proportion. Torrential rains and terrible flooding continue to pose a grave danger to life and to property. Our first responders have been doing absolutely heroic work to shepherd people out of harm's way, and their courage and devotion has saved countless lives. They represent truly the very best of America. We must be vigilant. We must protect the lives of our people. I was on the ground in Texas yesterday to meet with Governor Abbott, who is doing, by the way, an incredible job, and local officials, so that we could coordinate the very big and unprecedented federal response. In difficult times such as these, we see the true character of the American people, their strength, their love, and their resolve. We see friend helping friend, neighbor helping neighbor, and stranger helping stranger. And together, we will endure and we will overcome. To those affected by this storm, we are praying for you, and we are here with you every single step of the way. And I can speak, I know, for the people in this room, every step of the way. To those Americans who have lost loved ones, all of America is grieving with you, and our hearts are joined with yours forever. The citizens of Texas and the Gulf Coast need all the prayers, support, and resources our communities have to offer. Recovery will be tough, but I have seen the resilience of the American spirit firsthand all over this country. To the people of Houston and across Texas and Louisiana, we are here with you today. We are with you tomorrow, and we will be with you every single day after to restore, recover, and rebuild. Our thoughts and prayers remain firmly with the citizens and our fellow people people, great, great people, all affected by this tragedy. We're also glad to be back in the heartland with the very, very fine folks of Missouri.
I love me some Missouri, too.
And I said to Senator Blunt, and I said to Billy Long on the plane coming in, can I say Missouri, or should I say Missouri? Okay? And they said, whatever you want is okay. So I said, good. But I'm especially pleased to be here in Springfield, the birthplace of a great American icon, the legendary Route 66. Who would have known that? This is the place where the Main Street of America got its start, and this is where America's Main Street will begin its big, beautiful comeback that you are seeing it right now. This is a comeback of historic proportions. You're seeing it happen right now. Right? You're seeing it. We're here today to launch our plans to bring back Main Street by reducing the crushing tax burden on our companies and on our workers. Our self-destructive tax code cost Americans millions and millions of jobs, trillions of dollars, and billions of hours spent on compliance and paperwork. And you have seen what's happening with regulations. They're going fast. We need regulations, but many of them are unnecessary, and they are going fast. That is why the foundation of our job creation agenda is to fundamentally reform our tax code for the first time in more than 30 years. I want to work with Congress, Republicans, and Democrats alike on a plan that is pro-growth, pro-jobs, pro-worker, and pro-American. There is no more fitting place to launch this effort than right here in the American heartland, surrounded by hard-working men and women whose skill, determination, and drive are truly second to none. And by the way, before I start, Ivanka Trump, I see my beautiful daughters in the audience. Stand up, brother. She's working very hard. I'm very proud of Ivanka. For many decades, Route 66 captured the American spirit. The communities along this historic route were a vivid symbol of America's booming industry. Truck drivers hauled made-in-America goods along this vital artery of commerce. Families passed through bustling towns on their way to explore the great American West, and high-quality manufacturing jobs lifted up communities, gave Americans a paycheck that could support a family. Mr. Cook is a great example of the people that do it. Yeah. Stand up, Mr. Stand up. Yeah. I think they like you. And provided millions of our fellow citizens with the pride and dignity that comes with work. But in recent years, millions of Americans have watched that prosperity slip away in the rear view mirror. And it wasn't pleasant to watch, especially for me. I would sit back, I was in business, and I could see what was happening. Wasn't good. If we want to renew our prosperity, and to restore opportunity, then we must reduce the tax burden on our companies and on our workers. In the last 10 years, our economy has grown at only around 2% a year. You look at other countries and you look at what their GDP is. They're unhappy when it's 7, 8, 9. And I speak to them, leaders of the countries. How are you doing? Not well, not well. Why? GDP is down to 7%. And I'm saying we were hitting 1% just a number of months ago. So we're going to change that around, folks, that I can tell you, and we're going to change it around fast. And today, a very appropriate day that this should happen, we just announced that we hit 3% in GDP. It just came out. And on a yearly basis, as you know, the last administration, during an 8-year period, never hit 3%. So we're really on our way. If we achieve sustained 3% growth, that means 12 million new jobs and $10 trillion of new economic activity over the next decade. That's some numbers. And I happen to be one that thinks we can go much higher than 3%. There's no reason why we shouldn't. So this is our once-in-a-generation opportunity to deliver real tax reform for everyday, hardworking Americans. And I am fully committed to working with Congress to get this job done. And I don't want to be disappointed by Congress. Do you understand me? Do you understand?
There you go. Give it to Congress, who has a new rating. They're even lower than ever. Keep it up. Keep it up, President Trump. Great job. Keep it up.
I think Congress is going to make a comeback. I hope so. Tell you what, the United States is counting on it. Here are my 4 principles for tax reform. First, we need a tax code that is simple, fair, and easy to understand. That means getting rid of the loopholes and complexity that primarily benefit the wealthiest Americans and special interests. Our last major tax rewrite was 31 years ago. It eliminated dozens of loopholes and special interest tax breaks, reduced the number of tax brackets from 15 to 2, and lowered tax rates for both individuals and businesses. At the time, it was really something special. Since then, our tax laws have tripled in size, and the tax code itself now spans more than 2,600 pages, and most of it is not understandable. Tax rates have increased, and special interest loopholes have crept back into the system. The tax code is now a massive source of complexity and frustration for tens of millions of Americans. In 1935, the basic 1040 form that most people file had 2 simple pages of instruction. Today, that basic form has 100 pages of instructions, and it's pretty complex stuff. The tax code is so complicated that more than 90% of Americans need professional help to do their own taxes. This enormous complexity is very unfair. It disadvantages ordinary Americans who don't have an army of accountants while benefiting deep-pocketed special interests. And most importantly, this is wrong. First and foremost, thank you. First and foremost, our tax system should benefit loyal, hardworking Americans and their families. That is why tax reform must dramatically simplify the tax code, eliminate special interest loopholes. And I'm speaking against myself when I do this, I have to tell you. And I might be speaking against Mr. Cook, and we're both okay with it. Is that right? It's crazy. We're speaking, maybe we shouldn't be doing this, you know? But we're doing the right thing. True. And allow the vast majority of our citizens to file their taxes on a single simple page without having to hire an accountant. Second, we need a competitive tax code that creates more jobs and higher wages for Americans. It's time to give American workers the pay raise that they've been looking for many, many years. In 1986, Ronald Reagan led the world by cutting our corporate tax rate to 34%. That was below the average rate for developed countries at the time. Everybody thought that was a monumental thing that happened. But then, under this pro-America system, our economy boomed. It just went beautifully, right through the roof. The middle class thrived, and median family income increased. Other countries saw the success. They looked at us. They saw, what is America doing? What's happening with the United States? And they acted very swiftly by cutting their taxes lower and lower and lower and reforming their tax systems to be far more competitive than ours. Over the past 30 years, the average business tax rate among developed nations fell from 45% to less than 24%, and some countries have an unbelievably low tax, including, by the way, China and some others that are highly competitive and really doing very well against us. They are taking us, frankly, to the cleaners. So we have no choice. We must lower our taxes. And your senator, Claire McCaskill, she must do this for you, and if she doesn't do it for you, you have to vote her out of office.
Oh, yeah, I can't stand that, Claire McCaskill. Good for you, Mr. President. Yes! Give us some thumbs up. Give them some hearts. Share this video. Make some comments. What do you think of the speech so far?
She's got to make that commitment. She's got to make that commitment. If she doesn't do it, just can't do this anymore with the obstruction and the obstructionists. If we don't get tax cuts and reform approved, potentially the biggest ever, we're looking for the biggest ever, jobs and our country cannot take off the way they should. And it could be much worse than that. But at a minimum, they won't take off the way they should. The Dems are looking to obstruct tax cuts and tax reform, just like they obstructed so many other things, including administration appointments and health care. Not one vote. We got not one vote to try and fix health care and get rid of Obamacare. The strategy of our economic rivals has worked. They made their taxes lower, and far lower in many cases than ours, and jobs left our country. Large corporations changed their business models by exporting jobs to other countries and then shipping their goods back to the United States, where they'd make massive profits and they wouldn't be paying tax to us either. So we lost the jobs, we lost the taxes, they closed the buildings, they closed the plants and factories. We got nothing but unemployment. We got nothing. Other businesses, even classic American brands, switched their headquarters to foreign countries. Because of this and other reasons, like weak borders, America remains stuck in the past. Although I have to tell you, we have General Kelly here today, and we stopped 78% going up to 80% on the border traffic coming through in just a short period of time. He's done some job. Whole different world out there right now. Today, we are still taxing our businesses at 35%, and it's way more than that. And think of it, in some cases, way above 40% when you include state and local taxes in various states. The United States is now behind France, behind Germany, behind Canada, Ireland, Japan, Mexico, South Korea, and many other nations. Also, with these countries, and almost every country, we have massive trade deficits, numbers that you would not believe. But this administration is going to fix that one by one. We're fixing it. We're working right now on NAFTA, the horrible, terrible NAFTA deal that took so much business out of your state and out of your cities and towns. And we're working on it. Let's see what happens. Mexico is not happy. But as I told them, you made a lot of money for a lot of years and everybody left you alone. We got to change this deal, and hopefully we can renegotiate it. But if we can't, we'll terminate it and we'll start all over again with a real deal. So when it comes to the business tax, we are dead last. Can you believe that? So this cannot be allowed to continue any longer. America must lead the way, not follow from behind. We have gone from a tax rate that is lower than our economic competitors to one that is more than 60% higher. We have totally surrendered our competitive edge to other countries. We have totally surrendered. We're not surrendering anymore. Ideally, and I say this for our Secretary of the Treasury, we would like to bring our business tax rate down to 15%, which would make our tax rate lower than most countries, but still by no means the lowest, unfortunately, in the world. But it would make us highly competitive. In other words, foreign companies have more than a 60% tax advantage over American companies. They can pay their workers more, sell their products and services at lower cost, and still make more money than their U.S. competitors. We cannot restore our wealth if we continue to put our businesses at such a tremendous disadvantage. We must reduce the tax rate on American businesses so they keep jobs in America, create jobs in America, and compete for workers right here in America, the America we love.
I'm loving this speech. Are you? I want to see your comments on Facebook right now.
Thank you.
Share the video. Let people know what you think.
Thank you very much. Because when businesses compete for labor, your wages will go up. Lower taxes on American business means higher wages for American workers, and it means more products made right here in the USA. When I was growing up, I always used to see the signs, and it was always stamped on the product, made in the USA. You don't see it anymore. We're going to go back to made in the USA. Made in the USA.
Love it. Love it.
The third principle for tax reform is a crucial one. Tax relief for middle-class families. In a way, and I've been saying this for a long time, they've been sort of the forgotten people. But they're not forgotten any longer, I can tell you that. We will lower taxes for middle-income Americans so they can keep more of their hard-earned paychecks, and they can do lots of things with those paychecks. And that really means buying product ideally made in this country, but that means they'll go out and they'll spend their money, and it will be a beautiful thing to watch. This includes helping parents afford child care and the cost of raising a family. That's so important to Ivanka Trump. Very, very important to everybody in this room, but so important to my daughter. It's one of her real big beliefs, and she's very committed to that. Right, Ivanka? We believe that ordinary Americans know better than Washington how to spend their own money, and we want to help them take home as much of their money as possible and then spend it. So they'll keep their money, they'll spend their money, they'll buy our product, our factories will be moving again, companies are going to move back into our country, jobs are going to prosper, and our country is going to be just like it says on that beautiful red hat. It says, "Make America Great Again." That's what we're going to do. Right? Fourth and finally, we want to bring back trillions of dollars in wealth that's parked overseas. Because of our high tax rate and horrible, outdated, bureaucratic rules, large companies that do business overseas will often park their profits offshore to avoid paying a high United States tax if the money is brought back home. So they leave the money over there. The amount of money we're talking about is anywhere from $3 to $5 trillion. Can you believe that? By making it less punitive for companies to bring back this money, and by making the process far less bureaucratic and difficult, we can return trillions and trillions of dollars to our economy and spur billions of dollars in new investments in our struggling communities and throughout our nation. It's time to invest in our country, to rebuild our communities, and to hire our great American workers. My administration is embracing a new economic model. It's called, very simply, the American model. Under this system, we will encourage companies to hire and grow in America, to raise wages for American workers, and to help rebuild our American cities and communities. That is how we will all succeed and grow together as one team with one shared sense of purpose and one glorious American destiny. So today I'm calling on all members of Congress, Democrat, Republican, and Independent, to support pro-American tax reform. They have to do it. It's time. They have to do it. It is time. I'm calling on Congress to provide a level playing field for our workers and our companies, to attract new companies and businesses to our shores, and to put more money into the pockets of everyday, hardworking people, and also into the pockets of our companies so they can continue to grow and expand. What could possibly be more bipartisan than allowing families to keep more of what they earn and creating an environment for real job and wage growth in the country that we love so much? So let's put, or at least try to put, the partisan posturing behind us and come together as Americans to create the 21st century tax code that our people deserve. If we do this, if we unite in the name of common sense and the name of common good, then we will add millions and millions of new jobs, bring back trillions of dollars, and we will give America the competitive advantage that it so desperately needs and has been looking for so long. It's time. Products made with American hands, American labor, and American grit will once again be delivered throughout the world. That's true. It's time. Instead of exporting our jobs, we will export our goods. Our jobs will both stay here in America and come back to America. We'll have it both ways. Millions of struggling citizens will be lifted from welfare to work. They will love getting up in the morning. They will love going to their job. They will love earning a big, fat, beautiful paycheck. They will be proud again. That is the future I want for our people. That is the future I want for America. A nation where we are proud, prosperous, united, and free. Today, I am asking every citizen to join me in dreaming big and bold and daring things, beautiful things, for our country. I am asking every member of Congress, of which we have many with us today, to join me in unleashing America's full potential. I am asking everyone in this room and across the nation to join me in demanding nothing but the best for our nation and for our people. And if we do these things, and if we care for and support each other and love each other, then we will truly make America great again. Thank you. God bless you. God bless you, everybody. Thank you.
Well done.
Thank you very much. Governor, thank you.
Well done,
thank you,
Mr.
Thank
President,
you,
I think. Hi, welcome back. I'm Rusty Humphries. You're listening and watching the Rusty Humphries Rebellion here on Facebook, or we're on Stitcher and iTunes and other places you can find great podcasts. That was President Trump and his great speech. Talking about changing the tax code, talking about bringing jobs back to America, making America great again, working on some of those promises that he talked about. I got to tell you, I think it was one of the best thought out speeches he has ever done. The idea that, these are the things that he campaigned on. This is what I wanted to see him do for years and years, for months and months since he's been president. You know, we've had the tweets and the silly things and the Russia, which, by the way, the Russian thing has been proven to be false. There was a story in The Nation, a very liberal publication, that proved that whole Russia narrative thing was a baloney story. I'm going to try to get into that a little bit more tomorrow. But I want to know what you think here. Telfio Vasquez says he makes too many promises that he can't keep. These are all fake. Is it fake? Now, there's a problem. He does have, now let's talk about, you want to talk about fake. Nobody made more fake promises than Barack Obama. And it didn't matter what he said, didn't matter what he did, didn't matter that everybody knew he couldn't accomplish what he said. Oh, he's the great one. Oh, he's fantastic. And he had Congress, Democrats and Republicans working with him. President Trump has neither wanting to work with him because they care more about their power and their buddies and their baloney than they care about doing what's in the best interest of our country. So I want to know from you right now, if you would please, let's read some comments here. And give me some, did you like the speech? Thumbs up, hearts, Or if you didn't like it, give us the sad or the mean. I want to know right now. I want to watch the stream of thumbs ups and hearts or the downs. There's a lot of people that don't think that tax cuts are good. It's bad. We got to feed the beast of government, they say. Not me. Mark says he can do it if Congress will help him out. Randy says they're jamming the airwaves. They don't want me to hear it. Laverne says amen. Karen says thank you, Mr. President. Nancy says love you. John thinks he's a great president. Nancy says let him run our country. Mark says I'm all the way with you, Mr. President. Common sense. Love that, says Cheryl. Economic prosperity and security. Joyce says he's making America proud. Jobs, yes! Exclamation point. Deplorable checking in from California. Make America great again. That's Laverne. Cheryl says common sense. Love that. Yes. Another John says people have to start making noise about the lack of cooperation from the Republican Party members, especially Paul Ryan and Mitch McConnell. Yes. Michael thinks this is where the U.S. citizens need to come in. We need to vote out the deadwood that is filling up congressional seats. I personally think that any congressman over the age of 60 needs to take a senility test to confirm that they are up to the job. Interesting. Jody says, Mr. President, Ohio loves you. Anyway, some great comments from you. We really appreciate it. Jackie checking in. Hello. Laverne thinks that our president knows exactly what's doing in. Clay's checking in from Washington. Michael says, no, he makes promises and tries to get things done, and the other politicians need to be judged on their performance, or they need to be removed. Dean says, drain the swamp, both sides. I'm with you. And that's the problem we're dealing with, my friends. You know, we all heard the pleas from the Republicans. We got to get Nancy Pelosi out of the seat of the Speaker of the House. We got to change it over to Republicans. We did that. Oh, boy, but we can't do it without a Senate. Flip that over. Matter of fact, we had some problems. Remember Jumpin' Jim Jeffords, where the Congress was a 50-50 tie, and then you had a Republican go Democrat because Harry Reid bought him off. So then we turned the Senate over again. Oh, but Obama's there, and he can do so many things. Stroke of the pen, law of the land, all these executive orders. We've got to stop him. We need a Republican president. So we gave him one. But he wasn't good enough. He wasn't a Bush. He wasn't Jeb Bush. He wasn't good enough. He wasn't a sellout like Lindsey Grahamnesty, who was in love with John McCain. No. He wasn't a candy-ass, wussy piece of garbage like John, what's his name in Ohio? I can't stand that guy. I don't remember his name. We gave him a guy that says, you know what? I'm going to do something different. I'm going to try acting like a businessman. I'm going to try not being a politician for a change. And politicians don't like that. So, I agree with what the president said tonight. I like to see it happen. I want to see more things like this happen. I want to continue this discussion. Randy says, if it wasn't for you, Rusty, I wouldn't have been able to hear what I got to hear. I'm at work. Thank you for broadcasting what I heard. You're welcome. You know, it's hard when they air these speeches early in the day. I mean, hey, I don't blame him. He wants to get to people. But you're not going to see that replayed on Fox or CNN or any other place, especially if it's a good speech. Never. Heidi said, I never heard him say the word promise. I heard hopes, dreams, and America first. Good. Ray says, give the guy a fair shake. We are the United States. It's time we start acting like it. Good point, Ray. Tim says the country's already better since he's been in office. Ed says, a bit off topic, but I think a constitutional amendment should be added to ban political parties like Washington warned us. I mean, it sounds good, but it's like when judges run for office and they can't, like in certain states, like when I was in Nevada, judges could not say what party they were. So you have no idea their basic philosophy. I had a real hard time with that. I want to know if someone's a Democrat or Republican just to get an idea of what their base is supposed to be. Now, we got sellout rhinos. You can't figure them out. Democrats they're either really left or super duper left or going commie. By the way, more on Antifa in just a minute, and then we're going to wrap things up. William says, enough of one step forward, two steps back, onwards and upwards, Mr. President. Jay says, we put up with 8 years of Democratic control. We never raised hell. Let the man have a chance of what he knows what to do. I believe he will fix a lot of our domestic issues. We did give him hell with the Tea Party, but what did they do? They called us names, and now if you're just white, you're a Nazi. And for some reason, the media is buying this. Oh, Antifa? No, they're not bad people. These are just young folks that want to stop fascism. Bull-loney. Check this out. Hitting people if they don't like their camera.
Get away, you fucking! What are you guys beating us up for? Get the fuck out of there!
Don't agree with them? Hit him. Wow. This is nothing but thuggery. This is nothing but just terrorism. Look at that. They're hiding the cameras with signs and then kicking them. Look at that. Even without saying, it's just horrific. They find the easiest person to attack and go after him. All right, thank you very much, Independent Journal Review, for doing such a good job with that video. There's more of this stuff. We could watch it every single day, and I was going to say we wouldn't be surprised, but it gets worse and worse and worse and worse. I'm calling on the media to call out these terrorists for what they are. They are domestic terrorists that want to overthrow our government. They call themselves anarcho-communists. They believe in anarchy and communism. They want an overthrow of the government. They don't just want a coup d'etat of this president. They want an overthrow of the government. And why Nancy Pelosi and Democrats will back them, I have no friggin' stinking idea. Donna thinks they're animals. Michael says those evil people who need a one-way ticket out of this country. Jim says Antifa is as bad as the KKK, white supremacist, BLM. They're just as evil and mean and nasty as the rest of them. They are no better. And to claim that they are just as good as our soldiers on D-Day, they've got another guest coming. Cheryl says they are the ones that are fascists. Laverne says they are pansies. I am sick of them. All right. And Cheryl says, thank God, Rusty, we'd be listening to fake news. It's an honor, and I appreciate it. I want to remind you of a couple things. About to ready to wrap things up. Today only. It's going to end in a couple of hours. I'm giving my book away for free just for you. Yesterday was my birthday. I want to give you the presents. Go to Amazon. Type in my name and look for the Kindle version, and it is free until, I believe, midnight tonight. Go get it right now, and then the price does go up. Free is a pretty good deal. I'm giving it to you because not only was it my birthday yesterday, but I want you to have this for Labor Day so you're ready for the liberal idiots that are coming after you. So I'm making no money on this. And most people say, well, you should have gotten their email addresses and you should have gotten something for it. Yeah, probably, but I wanted to give you something because you've just been watching or listening to the show. So I appreciate you that much, and so I'm just going to give it to you for free, one day only. Just check it out, and I would appreciate that. I would also appreciate if you would go and help out our sponsors. WaxRx, they are an incredible product, pH-conditioned earwax system that effectively removes earwax. It's a multi-step system. It is the same stuff that doctors purchased and clinics purchase. And so if you'd get that, check it out. I would really, really appreciate it. Also, if you would support another great sponsor, Australian Dream Arthritis Pain Relief Cream. Yep. Awesome. If you got back pain or arthritis pain, stuff is great. It doesn't smell, doesn't burn, it's not greasy, it's real medicine. You apply it directly where it hurts, and that pain is going to go away lickety-split. Also, there's a empty jar guarantee. Yep, 100% money-back guarantee. If you don't like it, take my word for it and go buy it. If you don't like it, you can return the jar and get your money back. But you're going to love it. I'm telling you, it's great stuff. It's available at Walmart, Walgreens, and all great retailers. And DerMend is another great product. This is moisturizing anti-itch lotion. It is for you seasoned citizens. Your skin is not as moist as it was. And now, there's a product also available at CVS and Walgreens, not expensive, that will really help you. It's steroid-free, too. Go check it out, would you? DerMend, Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, great stores like that. And if you're looking for a great podcast, go check out Blunt Force Truth. Fabulous show. Hosted by my good friend, I talked to him earlier today, Chuck Woolery. He lives in Texas. He said it's sunny and warm there. Also, Mark Young, brilliant guy, funny guy, interesting guy. You're going to like him. Go check that out. The Rusty Humphries Rebellion, it is my podcast, and it is available at iTunes and Stitcher and iHeartRadio and all places where you find good podcasts. If you get my book for free, do me a favor. Would you please give it a nice review on Amazon? It makes a difference, okay? Thank you so much. I appreciate you. May God bless you. May God bless America. See you tomorrow, 9 in the East, 6 in the West. Thank you, my friends at Right Wing News, for powering this broadcast. My name is Rusty Humphries, and this is the Rusty Humphries Rebellion. Go get the book now. You can get it for free. Get the book for free now. Then don't ask me to give it to you free again, because I worked hard on the book, and it is real good book. I think you're gonna like the book. So just go and get it free from Amazon. All right, I'm gonna go have some dinner with my daughter now. Have a good night.